G'day, this is Andrew from About Windows, and I'm here today to talk about removing window film to all you DIY people out there who have a problem something like this. So this house is just getting prepared for sale, and what's happened is they've said, look, the windows over here, they need to be painted. And so they've thought, okay, well, first step, mask the windows. And so they've done that, done a nice job of painting them. And then lo and behold, when they peeled the masking tape off, it removed the scratch-resistant coating from the window film, peeled off with the masking tape and left it looking rather tacky. So they thought, okay, well, that means we're going to have to remove the window film. So then they started, and this is one of their efforts here. This is how far they've got with removing the window film. Down here you can see all the adhesive is still on the glass, not wanting to come off. And so they called me because it's hard to get off and you need the right sort of tools. So if you're going to do it yourself, don't go to Bunnings, go to a cleaning supply store and get a big scraper, not for cleaning your floor but for cleaning glass. Make sure it's got a glass cleaning sort of blade in it, something you can get two hands onto. And you're going to use lots of soapy water up on the window, and in this particular case they've been able to, in some of the windows where they've already been having a go at it, they've got some of the outer coating of film off, and that means that when I spray this water on, it's going to soak into the adhesive and soften it a little bit. Now there's instructions on my website for removing window film about how to soak that, and it's good if you've actually got some good thick sort of plastic. Glad wrap will dry out too quickly for most people, especially in weather like we've just hit the Canberra summer. Pretty hot, so it dries out really quickly. So unfortunately I haven't got hands free or someone to hold the camera so I can show you how I get this off. But basically the process is going to be, we'll see if I can get a little bit. Now this is very thin glass, so I've got to be careful that I don't break it by just going and smash into it. But with the right sort of tools, much easier to do with two hands. Anyway, so I'm going to scrape that all over, get all the adhesive off and make a pile like this, which is all the film that was on there. They've done pretty well. This film was on the house when it was purchased back in 2000. That's 20 years ago. So it was just by looking at it, it was a film that would stop the UV, protect the carpet from rotting along the edge. Always get trouble with carpet rotting when the glass comes this close to the carpet. And window film will protect that. And it would have given them a bit of privacy too. But as you can see, it's gone purple because the yellow's faded out of the dyes. It was a dyed film. Modern films are much more colour stable. So there we go. That's what you need if you're going to try and get some film off. And I'm going to make this window down here beautiful and clean like the one up there. And you might say, hey, that doesn't look that clean. Well, inside is pristine. The painters have been at the outside. Say no more. So I'm keeping this wet because anything that helps soften the adhesive is good. And I'm going to not edit this because I want you to see how long it takes someone who's been doing this for decades to do it, and then you'll have a realistic expectation of how long it might take you. So I'm going to start with my knife. This is a snap-off knife. You can use a regular snap-off knife. I've got my special window tinters one that won't scratch glass. So long as you've got a sharp point, you'll be all right. And the thing is, these windows have just been painted, and I just don't want to peel the fresh paint off. So I'm just creating a separation between where I'm working and the edges so that as I clean those edges, I'm not going to take the paint off. Now that should go a bit better. So one of these blades will only get you probably a pair of windows this size, and then they'll be blunt. So make sure, as well as having a heavy duty scraper that you can get two hands onto, that you've also got some fresh blades. And I prefer the quick change tool that doesn't need a screwdriver. Alright, so we keep that wet, make it slippery. This has just got, you can use regular detergent, washing up detergent, and that is much easier. So start by opening up the window in the centre. Don't go too close to the edges at the moment. You're going to have to slow down for the edges. You'll notice as I go, I'm keeping the scraper at the same incline to the glass. I'm not moving, changing the angle, I'm tipping. There's a perfect angle you'll find. And I'm going to the edge and make sure that I come in nice and square when I finish at the frame. You can go along, I'll just show you here. I'm being careful not to hit the frame because this is quite a powerful tool and I can gouge the wood out. So I'm leaving myself, you can't see, but I've left 20 millimeters there so that I can scrape that last bit off with very little effort. And guide the tool carefully just so I'm just not quite touching the window frame. Now this is 3mm glass, so you don't want to really smash into it. You could break the glass. So you want to make sure that you're getting a nice smooth glide. If you have trouble getting a smooth glide, try taking a shallower cut. Instead of taking the full width off, just take a shallower cut. You're just taking off a little bit at a time. If it stops, sometimes it's good to approach it from a different angle. If it stalls, and I've just got a little bit up here to do. I don't know how well you can see it there. But there is chunks of adhesive left on the glass. You'll see some lines here and here. And I can get more of it off with this scraper, but I'll never get all of it really well. I'm much better off to use a cleaning scraper rather than a one that's good for sort of heavy duty bulk work. To do a really good clean, I like to use, this is a Triumph Mark III, and it's time it had a fresh blade too. And these ones are double-sided. Got to be very careful with this blade, it's very sharp. Made in Denmark, the stainless steel. Always use the stainless steel blades. They're softer, won't scratch. If you're doing this on toughened glass, you may not be able to use this technique. Some toughened glass scratches very easily. It's another story. This is where I was saying I needed to cut the edge so that I don't take the paint off at this point. Always overlap your strokes probably about 50% this way and make sure that you're starting higher than where you finished previous time, so you've got lots of overlap and you're not going to leave anything behind. And listen carefully. You can hear that's clean. Down here, there's more at the edges there. If you hear anything, you know that's a spot that needs a bit more attention. All right, I think we've got that. You can clean the stuff off your blades, but be very careful on pinching that blade. I'm not running my finger along the edge or I would be bleeding. All right, I'm just going to wipe all the bits of paint and little skerricks of film with a paper towel, just to collect all that rubbish up. As a whole lot of junk there that we want to throw away. It's easiest just to use something disposable at this stage, so you can just chuck that. And that's got 90% of the stuff around the edges. Then I'll give it another wipe with my trusty Viper. So it really does look lovely and clean around the edges. Good enough to put some more tint on. Although this house is being sold, we're not putting more tint on here. There's a bit of a... They used to have something hanging there, obviously. It gets in my way. And when you think you've got it really clean, have a good careful look. Now, I've been cleaning windows for nearly 30 years, and so it's pretty easy for me to see what's on the inside and what's not. But if you're not sure, put your finger next to a spot and move your head a little bit, and you'll be able to tell if it's at your fingertip or if it's on the other side of the glass. And that, my friends, is clean, and we are finished.